Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever it is in your part of the world. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to the lovely music we've been listening to during pre-stream here. This is Dreamer by Declan DP. You can find their information in the lower left-hand corner of my screen. Thank you to Declan and everybody like them who makes other free-to-use or low-cost assets for us streamers so we can have better streams. Thank you very much. And now everybody can hear both of us on my end.
Lovely. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome in. Welcome to the courtroom.
Yes. Our 7th, as I counted, Dan and Dan collab.
Oh my god.
Also, congrats to Higstastic VT on first. You were the first one here, and you have the redeem to prove it. And also, congrats Pickles, the little dill, for a very excellently timed hello motherfucker when I was trying to read my music credits at the starting soon screen. You almost knocked me out of it.
Yeah, you lose that mojo, and then you're like, uh-oh.
Oh no, my groove is gone.
My groove is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that.
No, but for those who are new to this particular type of stream, I am Deuscain, variety type streamer here on Twitch, also known as Dan, because it's actually my name, and I don't hide that. And I am here with Dan the Draconian, or you formerly Dan the Draconian, now currently Dan the Draco King, with a shiny new model and new reactive image and a whole bunch of treasure.
Has it really, did debut really happen between our last one and now?
I think so. I think we were early January last time, and then
oh my gosh.
Debut for you was late Jan. So.
Well, yeah, it is technically now King Dan or simply Dan. I don't mind either. Yeah, wow. Debut was, I don't know, it's crazy to me because it was so magical.
Mm-hmm.
But it went so quickly.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it takes a while to get up to something like that, and then it's over and done within a flash, but it's yeah. I was actually there for part of it. I wasn't super loud, but I was watching with a friend. And yeah, I was so happy for you. Your model looks amazing.
Thank you. A lot of work was put into everything. Yeah, I don't know what I can say. Thanks for the boot. I don't know what I can say. It was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was magical.
Mm-hmm.
It was special, and I wouldn't change anything that I did at all.
Yeah. Certainly not with that model. My god, that thing is glorious.
That won't work on my stream, Master. You're gonna need to jump over to Deus's chat.
Well, if we're sharing, would it work?
I don't know.
Because
Did it come up?
The bot's showing on my end, and if it's shared chat, like, because Mask isn't getting an error on my end, so presumably it should work. If there's shared chat, the bot that's in my community should read the chat from yours. At least that's my theory.
Nova as well. Okay, my mod's just playing me up right now. It's fine.
Okay, but that's actually a good way to get started on our conversations, because we have a couple topics for today. I've broadly got the 4 sections, but the first one, as always, is just catching up with us. So you've obviously had your debut. What have you been doing since then? Anything big, or is this been the big thing and you've been laying low, sitting quietly on your throne, just applauding? Yes, applaud the king.
No, so with the launch of debut and everything, I've been able to enact one of my first projects, my talk show, King's Court, which runs every other week at the moment. So this week we had the amazing Alton and Aurel on, and I've already got the next guest for 2 weeks time confirmed, which is exciting. But it is going to be on the Tuesday instead of the Monday next week. So 2 weeks time, sorry.
Yeah, I did see you
is-
starting that new talk show of yours, and I debated putting myself up for application on it, but I'm like, we already do our own thing. I feel bad taking a slot for that.
Well, the thing with... Sorry, give me a sec. Everyone's going to see me disappear. The thing with the talk show, right, is it's a space for you to, like, advertise yourself and, like, get to know the community on a more personal level. And you already do that, but we don't always get to see that, like, my community at least, because, I don't know, time constraints or, you know, different time zones, not being able to watch streams because it's like middle of the night or something. So what it really does is it breaks those barriers for literally one stream. So yeah, if you are interested, let me know. I will put your name on the list. I'm inviting people who aren't on the list anyway, so
That's fair. Maybe I'll give it 6 months or something. We'll see. We'll let other people get a chance of your time, Your Majesty.
all right then, that's fine. But other than that, what do we do? We finished our... It took us 6 months in total to finish our, what's it called? Series. Our series on the channel. And that was obviously Metaphor, which we'll discuss later. But I'm kind of in the mix of... I don't know what I want to play. Like, I did say it was going to be In Stars and Time, but now that I think about it, I'm not in the right headspace for that.
Fair.
So, I'm not putting In Stars and Time as the series for my own mental health. Because it does touch on topics of, like, depression and self-blame and things. Are you drowning yourself in water? You are? Okay, cool.
I'm having a drink. They played my hydrate redeem. And I actually had one in real life, too.
Good job, Mars. Keep it up.
Not quite as enthusiastic as my emotes implies, but yes, I did have a drink. But, no, that makes sense. And actually, one thing that I would recommend for you, because I think back when we were talking last time, you mentioned being interested in Expedition 33, Clara Obscura. And I think that's coming out next month. So that's something worth keeping an eye on. So I've got...
Googling Clara Obscura Expedition 33 release date. I have to Google these every time.
I have it on Steam right now, April 24th. I pre-ordered it.
Wait, does it release the same? No. No! The 100 line comes out the day before. What am I gonna do?
Play them both. Play them both.
We'll have to just play them both. I'll have to... I think the 100 line is gonna be like personal playing anyway.
Nice.
We'll have to see if Clara Obscura can run well on stream.
I haven't heard any bad things about it. It's not going to have some of the issues that other like modern games are going to have because it is more RPG focused. Yeah, that's on my list of things to talk about.
Okay.
Because I saw you playing Monster Hunter popping up in the corner, and you're in Discord. And I'm like, he's in Monster Hunter. We're going to talk about that in next Dan and Dan. That's one of my 4 big topics. That one and Metaphor.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, I think Clara Obscura Expedition 33 would be a good thing to put on your list for late April, but you still need to find things, obviously, to fill the space until then.
Yeah. We're gonna just, like, tone it down a bit. Maybe do less of, like, pressure on myself. Geektastic. I love that name.
Yeah.
Geek. But yeah, I don't want to pressure myself too much. So this week's schedule is literally just gonna have like a few gorillas and a few scheduled things that are named. We've got an exciting new series starting. It is Pokemon series. But we're gonna see how that goes. I want it to be weekly, but again, gotta look after myself. Sorry, I feel like I've talked about myself for like half an hour. Over to you. What have you had in the past 3 months that's been exciting, and what's exciting that is to come?
So first thing for me, where do I start? So I had my big Monster Hunter event last weekend for the release of Wilds. I had 4 days off from work, Thursday and Friday, end of the week, Monday and Tuesday the following week. Thursday was just a rest day. Friday I jumped in at 8 in the morning. I played until 10 p.m. at night on stream with breaks. And then played for 2 hours after stream with friends. And went back again Saturday and Sunday and cleared the whole game up to high rank hunter rank level 40 by end of stream on Sunday. So I am done with the main story. It does have opinions, but because of that, I have taken a break from streaming for the last like 2 weeks. I was off all last week to recover. I'm off all this coming week for other things, including getting a new PC. But
Woo!
yeah.
We like that.
Yeah, I started having tech issues in the middle of February, which I don't like. And like some IT people, when you spend all day troubleshooting other people's computer problems and you come home at the end, you don't want to deal with your own. So it's like a persistent like freezing that's going across like multiple apps, including like native Windows applications. So like I'll double click on something in Folder Explorer and it'll lock up. Discord's locked up. The big thing I noticed it in is Chrome, but that's just because I'm in Chrome all the time.
Let's go.
Like it's just I could troubleshoot and figure out what the heck it is, or I could just go fuck it, new computer. Because admittedly my old one, while not too old, it's like 2.5 years. It's Alienware, and that's not a great vendor. And I bought like a pre-assembled Alienware, which is even worse. So
I didn't know it was that bad.
the vendor's not terrible, but again, like this is me as a streamer and content creator and a pretty heavy gamer, like taking a decent system and just running it into the ground. And I'll chew through these things pretty fast. So new PC, ordered it like literally the weekend before Monster Hunter. Like just took a Sunday and just sat down and went through every part, like looking stuff up. Like, okay, what's the reputation on this company for, hard drives? What's the reputation on this company for RAM? Like everything. And it took all day to put it in. And I've got a nearly $3,000 desktop computer shipping, and it's supposed to arrive next week. It was supposed to show up on Monday, but I just got an email notification this morning that they pushed it back to Tuesday. So Tuesday afternoon, it's going to get here.
That's exciting still. Hi, Danish. You were very rude earlier calling me a gecko. I saw that. Your little pastry. I'm gonna eat you all up. Nom 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 nom.
Yeah, Tiggs, that's kind of part of it too. Like, at the point I'm at now, it's either a weird proprietary part or it's like the graphics card or the processor. I don't think it's the memory. I tested that because that was an easy enough test. But like, I can pull pieces piecemeal. I can just go, fuck it, I bought a bad computer and wipe the whole thing and just replace it. But
Talking to human, Dan, not the gecko.
Oh, wicked!
Wow!
Thank you for that. Thank you, Danish.
Wow.
But yeah, so new PC is coming. I hope it'll fix my issues. If it doesn't, you'll peel me off the ceiling someday, eventually, maybe 6 months down the road. But because of that, no new Live 2D model has been ordered for me. I know that's something we talked about last time. I was shopping for one. The expense is a concern for me, and I've just kind of been gun shy about it, like very, very trigger shy of like actually making a decision about that. And so I'm still kind of like hemming and hawing about like potential model parents and people I want to make it, because I want something very specific that like it's hard enough to find people who make a male VTuber, but also one that can handle beards well. Imagine you ran into something similar with your model design and what you wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very challenging. I do not envy you, but I'm sure the finished result will look amazing nonetheless.
I'm going to definitely put in the effort to find somebody that can do the work quality that I like. And also I'm trying to like narrow down a little bit more specifically what I want. Because some things I know. Like some things I'm like, I know what I want for like the outfit redeems.
They can't really hear you. Well, that's. I've got you at 200 user volume. What can I do?
Do you have anything set up in OBS that's pulling me in a weird way? Or are you using desktop audio?
Just desktop.
Desktop audio. Is everybody else having problems hearing me? Higgs, can you hear me fine? What about Pickles? Pickles is a regular in my stream, and he's never complained about having issues hearing me, so it's... Pickles can hear both of us pretty well. I think it's on either your end, Dan, or it's on Wicked's, maybe? Is anybody else in Dan's chat having trouble hearing me? Because I know I can be a little soft-spoken, but on my end, yeah, Higgs can hear me fine on my side. And, like, I have an audio measure on the microphone I'm using, and I'm going into the yellow when I'm talking. Like, high greens, low yellows. So it should be loud enough. On Dan's end, you're a bit soft, but on my stream, it's fine. Oh, so it is Dan's end.
It's soft.
Maybe it's something in your settings for, like, piping down Discord overall. Kind of the downside of using desktop audio and pulling things in. We really need to get better.
Well, I've put up an application audio capture beta, and it means obviously I don't have any music because otherwise they're going to hear you twice. But you are coming through a bit better. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably something with desktop audio. Let me find a video afterwards. I'll put a message in our call chat too. Send Dan video about splitting audio in OBS because I've found some good stuff.
Can I just... Can you try now?
Testing, 1, 2, 3. We talkie.
Oh my gosh, I think I got it.
What did you do?
Let's go.
I went and increased the decibel gain for the Discord.
Ah.
But it means... so Danish. You're getting compliments there, Dan. Look at you.
Danis has not heard me acting up. I can get up to mischief when I want to with my voice. But anyway.
Actually, I know you can.
I've gotten somebody so flustered in the last month, like just pulling something out of thin air. They actually like literally like, I need to get up and walk away from my PC for a minute. I'm like, thank you. That's an excellent compliment. I love it. But yeah, so first bit of news, Big Mon Hunt weekend went well. I'm on break for the next for last week and this upcoming week to rest, and also like new PC prep is going to take a minute. So new PC is coming in, no live 2D model, but since I am not spending money on the live 2D model, I have actually been able to get a whole bunch of art, and you might have seen it show up on Twitter and Deuscain. Oh, speaking of somebody getting flustered by the sound of my voice, hi Jelly. Hello, jellyfish. Give you a shout out here. You were also chatting. Somebody said I had a sexy voice, Jelly, and I commented that, yeah, maybe I got somebody a little flustered with the sound of my voice. And what do you know? You rated in. Pickles is redeeming high. I'm going to do a timer for 5 minutes for this. All right, let's do 3 minutes.
Can everyone on my side hear the BGM again? Have I actually split my audio correctly?
Yeah, tell Dan whether or not you hear us properly.
Why is there an extremely strange voice?
Someone redeemed audio redeemed for me. They asked me to do the high voice, so here we are. We're stuck with this for the next 3 minutes. I'm sorry, Dan.
That's completely okay. I don't mind. Thank you for the hair pat. We did it. You hear a BGM? I did it. Look at that. I did it live on the stream.
Yeah,
eating a
we're doing it
chicken nugget.
live.
I wish I was eating a chicken nugget.
Oh yeah, chicken nuggets. Fuck yeah.
Now I've realized I don't have a chicken nugget and I'm sad.
Oh. We'll get to some
I
chicken
don't
nuggets
regulate my
later.
emotions anymore. I swear to God. I used to be able to, and I just can't anymore. I just cry at random shit now.
Look, man, I have seen that. I have heard that. It's all good. Also, Jelly, thank you for the raid. If you got a raid and run, it's perfectly understandable. But also, you're welcome to listen to us chat, listen to me do this godforsaken voice for another minute and 45 seconds. But anyway, Dan, no, like, definitely, like, when emotions get high and things get a little bit strained, like, the body does weird things. We love the Stitch voice. Yeah, of course you do. But, like, I remember seeing something years ago talking about, like, mental health, and this is a weird conversation for this fucking voice. But, like, people talking about that, and somebody talking about, like, the thing that broke them was a frozen pea on the floor. And they have no idea why it was, but just that was kind of what broke through the emotional dam. And they're just telling everybody about how they laughed at finding a frozen pea on the floor. I wish I could find it. It was actually a very good comic series that I saw on Twitter. It's probably long since gone by now. But anyway, yeah, like, things are tough. These are hard times. We're all trying to do the best we can to get through them, and sometimes it just gets a little bit too hard, which is why one of my favorite quotes says something to the effect of, "Tears aren't a sign of weakness. They're a sign of somebody who's had to be strong for too long."
No, I know.
I really like that quote. Because that quote's just an absolute middle finger to toxic masculinity. And fuck that.
I agree.
30 more
100%.
seconds. This is not...
I can take over for the next 40 seconds. It's fine.
No,
Said this before.
It's still in my thing. It's still exploding my news. Let me do it.
No, I wanted my take on the healing and crying and shit.
Okay, fine. Then we'll get back to my news afterwards.
Yes, we will. I promise. I've always said to my viewers that healing is always crying is a sign of healing. There we go.
Thank God I can talk properly again. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Thanks, Danish. Love you. But yeah, that was literally all I wanted to say.
Okay, yeah. But no.
Hello. Hi, Booby.
So because I haven't been spending money on a Live 2D model, I was able to go back to the original topic. I was able to get a whole bunch of new art.
Ooh,
so
like art.
If you've been, oh my God, a dragon, a very nice dragon. He is a good friend.
I have, look, wings. I'm jiggly. I'm very jiggly.
But yeah,
Ray.
I've gotten a whole bunch of new art. I think last time I had gotten an art tag and was able to.
Swear to God.
Yeah, I know. Gecko Wings is going a bit far. But I think I had an art tag last time, and I've started posting more stuff to it because I put a whole bunch of commissions in, like New Year's Eve, like half a dozen to a dozen, and most of those have come back. I still am waiting on a few, but then I put a few in at the end of January. I put a few in February, and I just started putting in my ones now for March. But I actually have new art in some capacity or another scheduled to go post on socials for the next 4 weeks on Thursday. Like that's the day it's going to be going out. So yeah, I think, what did I have go live this week? Oh, I think this week was the I think it was my ref sheet, maybe.
Ooh.
Because I got the ref sheet back in. You probably should. It's a good idea.
It's fine.
No, I'm wrong.
Fujimori
It was not my ref sheet. It was a brand new piece of art I got done by somebody who had made other art for me in the past. But I commissioned them for a special piece of meme art for
meme art.
Yes,
Okay.
meme art. A friend of mine tried to encourage me to do a stream of Blasphemous, the Metroidvania game with a whole bunch of religious themes. So I went and got, I'm going to share this link in chat here, a bit of art. And my references were like, here's a man praying. Here's an ooh-woo face. Here's a fake halo. Here's my ref sheet. Have fun with this. Make it cheesy. And they have done gloriously well for me. I love it.
That is... What
And
do
it-
you do when someone does that to you and goes, here's an uwu face, here's someone praying, here's me, good luck?
There's a certain... I mean, I question that whenever I'm putting in art commissions to artists. It's like, sometimes you want
Let me have a look at
somebody
this.
that... something that... Like, you want a little bit of artistic freedom to explore something. It's kind of like games. Like, sometimes you want the big sandbox where you can do whatever you want, and those are more like skebs. Sometimes you want, like, a very specific thing where they tell you exactly what you want and exactly how. And other times, it's in the middle. And this one, like, I gave them a rough idea of what I wanted. And...
I missed this. This is amazing.
yeah, it's glorious, isn't it? And best of all, and this is what I like, and is my whole philosophy behind commissions, this is multi-purpose. Like, I got it for Blasphemous. I'm like, I don't have anything that would fit like a religious game or religious examples. Like, I have like action things I can use, but nothing that's like silly. But like, this is great for Blasphemous. It's great for if I have like a silly courtroom thing where people are accusing me of, like, I think one VTuber got accused of being a furry, so they took her to court and like had this little fake trial where that was content they were doing. This is great for anything like that. This is great for like a culture tag stream or a hear me out or something like that. Anything where I'm acting innocent but very clearly not. This is a perfect piece of art to use for that stream, that thumbnail, whatever. And I love it. It's perfect.
That's good.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, click the link, everyone, and have a look. It is pretty cute.
But yeah, most of my art is already up in my Discord server, so anybody that has access to it, you can go there and see the stuff early. There is, however, one special piece of art that only I have seen. I have requested a very special commission to celebrate the end of Persona 5 Royal, which I have not beaten yet. But let me tell you, they cooked, and I'm very happy with this. I can't use it in thumbnails. I was very clear with them. I'm like, I don't want this for commercial use. It is going to be a thing I share with my community. I post to socials. It's not going in thumbnails. I'm probably not going to show it on stream other than maybe at the end of that particular stream. I'll be like, okay, here's the art I got commissioned for this game. It's going in Discord. Have fun, everybody. But it is... Whew, I'm very happy with that. That one... That's actually one of the more expensive commissions I've done recently. Though actually, I did have one of the most expensive commissions I had. I launched the first piece of art that I put in my Not Safe for Work tag, which I won't put that link in chat. But I have called dibs on the tag in a very, very, very specific way. That one went live on Valentine's Day. I was cooking.
I saw it. I did. I was very impressed with the
things and
artist's
stuff. Yes.
rendition.
Yes, thank you. But I also did a couple more emote orders too, and I now finally have more emotes than I know what to do with on Twitch. I literally can't use them all. So once I get the last ones in for the previous order, like once I get enough emote slots to open all those up, they're gonna go in for the previous order, and then I might actually do like a poll or something in my community for which emotes are going to be available on Twitch next. But all of them are already up in my Discord for anybody to use, so is the sheet for that. And I think the sheet for the newest emotes is actually what's going live for art next week. I'm gonna more publicly announce it, but I got them in like the Thursday or Friday of Mon Hunt, and I'm like, fuck, why didn't you send me this yesterday? I could have gotten it done in time. Actually, I think they messaged me on Thursday to say that they were done, and then sent me the final sheet like 4 in the morning Friday my time because I think they're on the other side of the planet. So yeah, I rushed and got a couple of them in Discord before jumping into Monster Hunter that day. But yeah, no. So I have a ton of emotes. Should hopefully be good with those for a little while. I might get some here and there, but I think it'll be a little while before I do a big emote order again. Because I've done... What did I do? God, I think I did... Let me look this up.
You need to rest the money spending a bit.
Well, okay, fair. In my defense, work pays me very well. But also... January, I budget for 2 checks every month because that's reliably what I get. I get paid every 2 weeks. But January I got 3 checks. So I had a whole extra paycheck to play with for money, which is why I had so much art that I got there.
Thank you for the sub.
But yes.
You're not losing an hour. You're going to grab a cup of tea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get some tea.
I forgot you had your daylight savings at the start of March. Because in the kingdom, we have ours at the end of March. So yeah.
But no, in the last 6 months, I've gotten an order of 15 static and 3 animated emotes. Then additional 6 animated emotes, and then the last order was 6 static and 6 animated.
Oh.
So it's 15 of each now, I think. Technically 16 because I have like a Halloween one that I got. But yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice though.
So yeah, if I get anything else, it might be like small dancing ones here or there, like just small ones. It's not gonna be any more big orders because again, I have more emotes than I can use. Like that's why I put the stuff in, because I didn't have enough to fill all my slots, and now I do, and I have extra. So it's a thing I don't have to worry about for a while. But
enjoy the cup of tea, Miramis.
Yeah, enjoy your tea. But aside from that, upcoming games for me, Blasphemous is on the list. I also might do Citizen Sleeper, which is a game that I've been... or Citizen Sleeper 2, which is a game that I've been wanting to play since January. I've held off playing it on my own to share it with stream, because I played the first one on stream.
Thank you for the compliment. No, you.
Yeah, Jellyfish is a cutie. Big cutie patootie she is. Actually did a collab with her the week before Monster Hunter. She was jumping into the Dream Daddy visual novel, the Daddy Dating Simulator, and I had been chatting with her a little bit before that, was debating getting into doing a collab with her, and I'm like, you know what? I'll do the dad voices in the Daddy Dating Simulator. So we had a fun little stream for that. I do not need to be called out.
Oh, jelly. Is it jelly, or is it jellyfish, or is it noodles? Like, what would you prefer? You let me know. But,
in front of the cool dragon. I'm complimenting you to my friend.
You're truer than jelly. Jellyfish? Jelly.
I say jelly usually.
Jelly. I like that.
But yeah, so Blasphemous definitely. That's probably going to be on my list for the week that I come back. Because I finished Steel Rising. That's done. And Persona, I am in the 6th palace. I'm literally in like the stretch of time where they're like, okay, do you want to send the calling card? No, don't send it now. Wait till the end of the month and send it the last possible minute. I'm like, okay, time to just go do social links, I guess. I usually do this backwards. I usually finish the palace first, but plot says otherwise. But yeah, it is the 6th and potentially final palace, or maybe something else happens afterwards. I presume something will.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've seen the writing on the wall with some of the themes in that game of like the 7 deadly sins, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way the 6th palace is the last palace. I will be disappointed if it is.
Yeah, I have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Other than you're once again reminding me of a game that I never finished on the channel.
Yeah. It's a long
Like,
it's a long game. It's a very long game, and I get that.
Let's go.
Yeah, I've got a line of like games I want to play, but I don't know if I could finish. Like,
Hey, I mean, you finished Metaphor, and that's a long one.
because it's my favorite game of all time now. It is fantastic in every sense of the word.
Fantastical, one might say. So actually, yeah, that's a good segue to, because that's kind of the end of my news and updates. So we got a couple things we can jump into. Do we want to just jump right here into talking about Metaphor ReFantazio, or do we want to jump into like VTuber news like we sometimes talk about? Have to head out to work.
What VTuber news have we got?
Have to head out to work. Have a great one. Thank you, Pickles. You have a good day at work.
Bye, Pickles. Stay safe.
So I have like 3 topics that kind of came up recently, almost in like the past week, of all kind of similarly related. There's a little bit of space to talk about them.
Go ahead.
Well done, Jelly. She did a dun on me. So broadly, they're about disclosure. And
Disclosure. Okay.
disclosure. So the first thing I saw come up on stream was, or on socials, was VTubers and their relationship status and whether or not they should disclose it, because a particular VTuber who specialized in like girlfriend experience content got outed as having a boyfriend, and basically people did not react to it well. She deleted all of her stuff and left. And it's kind of a question about that. I saw people talking about whether or not that should be.
Sorry, I need to stop you there. Could you clarify what girlfriend experience content means?
Okay. I would probably describe it as a safe for work softcore version of like almost pornography. It's not quite, but it's the them talking to their community, encouraging almost a parasocial relationship, and like acting like they're that person's girlfriend. The experience is literally them trying to cultivate an experience like they're somebody's girlfriend.
No. As soon as you said like parasocial, my brain instantly went like, no.
And that's fine if you don't like that type of content, but also the issue that came up was about like this person had a partner. It got revealed that they had a partner. People turned on them, and the discussion was about like whether or not people have to, in the VTubing space, disclose that information. And it was an interesting thing, and I kind of chewed on it for a day or two. Before I give my thoughts, like what do you think more broadly about like, do you have to like tell people in this space if you have a partner? Like, are you pro? Are you con? Is it conditional? Like, what are your kind of thoughts on that?
I don't think it's straight up black and white. I think it is a case of like, that is your choice when you disclose such a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't matter either way. Like, if, for example, I had a partner and they were okay with me doing, I don't know, boyfriend content or whatever, then there's no problem there. The problem lies with you if you have a problem with it. I don't believe that the VTuber in question, I don't know who they are, by the way. This is the first time, disclaimer, this is the first time I've heard of this situation, and this is just my blank slate kind of take. I haven't looked into this. I don't know any of the juicy details or the deep details, so take everything with a pinch of salt. But my take is that VTuber should not have to disclose anything about their personal life that they don't want to. The content that they're making should maybe have a disclaimer at the start saying, this is, purely made for entertainment purposes and is not intended to portrays a false narrative.
Yeah.
So maybe they could have done that to protect themselves. That would have been my advice.
Yeah, I get the impression from people who make that content that they avoid those messages specifically in some instances.
because that way they lose the people watching. And you know what? I'd rather have a community that is there for entertainment purposes than the ones that want to like date me.
Yeah.
Don't give me money because you want to get in my pants. Like, if I wanted that, I would have an OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm. And some of these people
That
do,
rhymed.
and that's
That rhymed, and I'm keeping that.
no, that's fair. So when it comes to me, for this type of disclosure, I do agree with you on it being conditional, because I do think it varies based on the type of content that somebody's producing. Like, for like take an example of a very famous VTuber, Iron Mouse. People had rumors for ages that she was dating a specific person, and she has said very clearly that she's not. And if it ever came out that she lied about it, I really wouldn't care, because it's not anything that her content is based around. Like, that's not what she's trying to do. She's not trying to build that. But there's kind of the question of like, why is somebody doing this? Are they doing it for privacy, or is it for financial gain? And they are making that decision at some point. Because if they're literally saying, like, if I tell people I'm dating somebody, I'll make less money, you are choosing to withhold information. You are choosing to hide something. Oftentimes you're going to have to start telling lies to keep that up, which it becomes problematic. And
Did they, though? Did they tell lies to keep it up?
I don't know. But it's one of those, like, I have seen people in the past that have done things in that space that have lied about having a partner, because they're like, I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have a husband, I have a roommate. No, you don't. You're lying. You're lying to people. But yeah, so it depends on why they're doing it, because definitely, like, if somebody, it's like if somebody goes to a bar on a Friday night and like takes off their wedding ring and flirts with people for free drinks. Like, is it illegal? No. But is it like socially frowned upon and kind of scummy? Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
don't do that. Hey, Dusty's here.
Oh, a raid! Dusty Otto! Welcome in.
You do your thing. I'll give them a shout out.
Thank you so much, Raiders, for coming by. Me reaching across my keyboard so I can press a button. Hi.
Dead by
I'm
Daylight.
King Dan. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid, Dusty Otto. We love you so much. You know that. And Dusty here was actually a guest on King's Court, I believe, 2 weeks ago. So, and since then we collabed yesterday as well. We were playing some Lethal Company, weren't we?
Nice.
But yeah, I'm Dan, King Dan, Dragon King VTuber. Today I am joined by Deuscain, aka Dan. So welcome to the Dan and Dan chat. We're talking about VTubing drama, or news, sorry.
Yeah.
How's the most handsome king ever? All the better with you here, my dear.
But yeah, so the topic for raiders that are coming in, they're trying to catch up here. We were talking about how sometime in the past week somebody kind of got caught having a boyfriend in the VTubing community that they didn't disclose, and people were upset about it. We're kind of discussing like whether or not that should be disclosed. Both of us are kind of like, it's sort of conditional. Like, it's not always yes, it's not always no. It depends on circumstances. It depends on the type of content you're doing. At least that's, because I think you said it wasn't black and white, and I'm like, it's kind of conditional based on the content. It's kind of this and that, and the big thing for me that I took from as the final bit of my points on this was the idea of informed consent. That if you're doing some content like this, like especially in adult spaces, in adult relationships, not even just sexual ones, just any kind of adult relationship, like consent is a big thing, and that requires you to be both informed and enthusiastic. And for many people, like the community that likes this boyfriend experience content is very enthusiastic about liking it. But if somebody's withholding information for financial gain, they aren't allowing their communities to make an informed decision. And like, is there going to be financial loss for it? Probably, but that's the cost of doing honest business. And
thanks for the jar, Sada.
gonna have to raid and run. There, Otto. There. Hope you have a good rest
Much
of your
love,
day.
Tufty. Hope you had a good DVD game, and I hope you won some matches and
Yes.
escaped from the killer.
Or,
Yes.
alternatively, hope you killed them
if
all.
you-
They deserved it.
Yeah, if you were a killer, then I hope you got them all.
Those darn kids.
Oh, Sada, how could you do this to me?
So yeah, that's kind of the broad strokes of like what I had thoughts about it. Like it isn't a cut and dry thing for the space, I don't think, but it is an interesting thing that people constantly talk about. I like when people disclose that information because it definitely makes it easier to draw those emotional boundaries with people. Like, yeah, no, like even if you're like, oh, this person's so great and so sweet and so, oh crap, I'm falling for them. Maybe I need to back away for a little bit. Like, it's a lot easier to draw that line with a streamer if like, no, they have a partner. They're very clear they're not interested in me. I know, I logically understand people are here to work, but
Oh,
there's
Sada, that's sweet.
there's definitely times when it's hard not to look at somebody and see all the best things about them and maybe get a little bit of a crush. And
Disclosure, I am a single Pringle, everybody. But that doesn't mean I'm looking for a relationship.
there, yeah.
Like,
But no, so it's a thing I like when it's disclosed. If people hide it for privacy's sake, that's fine. But if people withhold that information and then do a type of content that really the people they're doing it with should have that information to decide whether or not they want to get into it, I don't really like it. Like I don't like that example I use, that metaphor of somebody going to the bar on the weekend and flirting with people to get free food and free drinks, when in reality, like, they have no interest in a relationship. They're just there to manipulate people, and that does not sit well with me. That doesn't sit well with me in the bar. It doesn't sit well with me in the VTubing community. And I know that there are people who do that, but you kind of can't do much about it. But
yeah.
Second disclosure topic. This one actually just popped up. Don't like the girlfriend boyfriend experience, but I see why people do. Yeah, it's
What's
hit it.
BFE?
Boyfriend experience. It's basically
Oh.
girlfriend experience from the
Don't like
other side.
boyfriend experience and girlfriend experience stuff, but I see why people do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they enjoy doing it like portraying that experience themselves, or whether they do it because they know it's gonna get them views / money down the line. Like, I don't know if I can't like I said, it's not a black and white thing, so I can't ultimately say that they're doing it for money. But I believe the intent in order to get money is there.
I mean, their content creation. We are all doing it for money. If I'm being very blunt and honest about that, but
I mean,
like,
I disagree. I'm not here for money.
but you're not turning the money down, are you?
Because if I did, my community would lose out on so much bonus stuff.
I know.
They wouldn't get free emotes. They wouldn't get.
Yeah, I do think that there is
IDs.
I do think there is a distinct difference between like people who dabble in this and people who make it their entire brand. And the impression I got from this person was that it was their entire brand was centered around that.
Money.
That was the key fob for them. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But
What was next? What else have we got in
So
news corner today?
so the other thing related to disclosure, I think I saw this either yesterday or the day before, people talking about political status and political beliefs and how they were frustrated that people weren't
We skipped
up
it.
forward. Okay, we can skip it.
Okay. We'll give brief opinions.
Fair. It's more that people wanted somebody wanted communities to be more outspoken about what they believed in so that they could understand whether or not it was a safe space or not for them. And they were frustrated that larger creators were broadly silent on topics because they thought that essentially they were doing it to just preserve the money. They didn't want to upset people.
So when they say, okay, now actually we can get into this. When they say like larger streamers, if we're talking about the corporate ones, there is a strict word there that means that they can't talk about that stuff, and that is the corporate thing. Like, they're in a company that specifically does not have, like, it has a rule or a policy where they cannot talk about certain things at all whatsoever, and politics is one of them.
Yeah. But there are also large indie streamers that this could apply to.
But there are also large indie streamers who are raising money, who are supporting the progressive organizations and charities. They are, you know,
There are.
Fundraising for, you know, Gaza, fundraising for LGBTQ plus, like.
Yeah, the impression.
Depends on the circle that you surround yourself in. If this person isn't noticing these good positives, then maybe their circle of visibility needs to change.
The impression I got from the person who posted it is they wanted people to announce like what groups and factions they were part of, so that they could avoid like the more conservative, more side of things. Like that, I got the impression that they were left leaning politically, and they wanted to avoid the right leaning spaces because they didn't feel safe in them, which makes sense. But they were the way they like explained it and wrote it was essentially them saying, I think more people should have to say this about this, and I don't like the fact that people don't talk about it for financial gain and financial benefit. That's kind of the vibe I got from what they were saying. I dug through a couple comments and the original poster said, and they started talking about like, oh, people not talking about this and such privilege and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I don't like you. And I muted them and I moved on with my day.
What do you want me to talk about? Do you want me to create a negative space when there's enough of that in the world? Do you want me to just be like, oh, so many such people have died in this war and it's terrible and there's so much shit going on in the world and this place is burning and this place had an earthquake? Do you want me to just be a news media outlet like the BBC or some shit? Sorry, I should not have named them. But hey, literally, if you want a negative news outlet, there are plenty you can go to.
Again,
I'm here to create a positive, safe space for entertaining you.
Yeah. and that makes sense. And that, again, this is one person. This is one person's opinion that here to play and enjoy video games. And honestly,
enjoy video games.
Yeah, and that's honestly my perspective on it. Like, the reason why I don't usually talk about politics is I have zero chill about the things in politics that piss me off, and if I start talking about it, I'm just gonna rage, and I don't need that, and I don't want people to have it. And part of the reason why I try and keep it as a safe, politics-free space is, like, there are extremists on both sides of the spectrum who will just show up and start causing a fuss, and I'm just like, no, both of you get out. Both of you shut the fuck up. We're here to play video games and get away from you for 5 minutes. Like, exactly. I'm not here left or right. Like, I am generally speaking a centrist, a left-leaning one, but a centrist who has no patience with people that can't talk about anything other than politics. That are very one or two dimensional about it. And
yeah.
But it was an interesting thing and an interesting topic because, again, like I said, with all this is information disclosing relationship status, political status, and like whether or not, like, because again, you're talking about like people supporting Gaza, people supporting like LGBTQ plus spaces, which is what I think this person wanted. But then they were kind of talking about how like other streamers like sometimes like don't disclose any of that information. Then all of a sudden they do this hard pivot to like right-wing media and right-wing stuff. And then all of a sudden this space that used to be safe for them doesn't feel safe anymore. And yeah, ads are going to pop in about a minute and a half.
Have a break. Oh, I've got 2 minutes 30 on mine. So
yeah.
But we can go for a little break soon. So what is your take on this then? You've not stated that yet.
So full disclosure, like I said, I looked through what this person was saying. I looked through some of the comments they left, and I really didn't like the original poster, and I ended up actually muting them following it. I didn't, because I came across it because somebody else like quote retweeted them with like them speaking supportively of the original poster, but I looked through it and I'm like, I don't like this person's attitude. I don't like the fact that they are telling me what to do with my life. Like, they can decide what they want to do for their streams left and right and center, but for me, like, I'm going to do my own thing, and they're either going to be okay with that or they're not.
So this comes from police curiosity, but why would you mute and not block them?
partially is because I'm trying to be gentler with the block button. Because this person, like, block is when people show up and they're like, Mein Kampf was a good book. Like, that's a block. That's an instant block. When somebody comes across and they're like, I can see them as kind of like good, well-meaning, but ultimately not my cup of tea, that's probably a mute rather than a block. Because nobody can tell if I mute them, but they can absolutely tell if I block them. And like, why stir up the drama? Why cause more trouble? This is definitely I don't want to talk to this person again. I don't think we're gonna see eye to eye, but
yes,
I do want to disengage with them. But yeah, generally speaking, I understood their perspective, but I disagreed with their advice.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
anybody who listens to me even for a minute talking about politics should know very easily like what side of this aisle I'm on.
But whether someone should disclose their political stances, if you're going to do it, it should be in a well-structured, clear, concise manner where you clearly state exactly what you support, what you believe in, and that's it. Like, it shouldn't be, I wishy-washy my way through this explanation because I want to sit on the fence. Like, you should be like, I believe in this, but I can also understand the appeal and like the benefits of this. That's if you know, for example, for yourself, if you're you know, have a centrist kind of view, like you could probably see benefits of both sides, but yeah, explain everything clearly or don't say anything at all.
Yeah. I mean, generally, I just avoid saying it at all because, again, I get heated when I talk about it because some of the things I see these days just really get under my skin and really upset me. And also just the whole point of me streaming sometimes is just to make a space to get away from that because it's everywhere these days. And it's okay for people to have a space where they don't have to put up with that. They don't have to listen to it. Like, that's kind of why I'm even like, I'm not, because again, all I've said here is I'm like center left. Like I've not gone to my specific beliefs. It's not the relevant topic of this conversation. It's should people have to disclose it? This person said yes, and when I saw them talking to other people, they're like, "Oh, it's such a privilege to be able to sit back and not have to say this." And I'm like, "No, I don't like your attitude. I'm not dealing with you anymore." And it wasn't even somebody that I interacted with regularly. It was just like some random person that somebody else was interacting with. And there's going to be people in the space we don't get along with, and that's fine too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to run onto a ad break and stretch my legs because it is break time for me.
Sure, so, I'm going to start mine now. My ads are already running, so yeah, we'll be right back in a few minutes, folks.
Be back soon.
Here we are.
There we go.
Here we be back.
Thanks for sitting.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you
patience.
for giving me an extended break there. I needed it. Whew.
Yeah. No, I was gonna thank chat for letting us waiting so patiently for our extended break. We will try and do better with the ad timing next time.
When we see it, we'll go on break immediately.
Let's go.
So I had one more small topic. We kind of mentioned it during the break to each other, but last little bit of like VTuber news talking about disclosure was something I saw this morning. Saw somebody talking about and pointing out the fact that many VTubers they saw recently weren't including artist credits in their bio or anywhere on their socials, and that definitely was a situation that made me go, wait, let me check the TOS for the artists I worked with to see if I have to credit them. And turns out, yeah, one of them I have to update my profile information for, because I pulled some of that out for just to fit more information there. It's all credited in Discord properly, but that's not the same thing as like doing it on Twitter where I'm using it. And actually, I do need to make a project where I go through my videos on YouTube and credit the artists there for the pieces I use in my thumbnails. So that is going to be a whole project at some point.
So, my take on this is, if it can take you 5 to 10 seconds to credit an artist, why are we not doing it in the first place?
Yeah.
And I guess it's something that I actually want to nitpick on. Like, people will post a piece of art, and then they won't, like, they'll leave a comment beneath with the artist tagged instead of using like the actual tag system where you can like mention people in this art or something, or putting them in the actual post with a little, you know, the paintbrush symbol next to it that people use. And I'm just, it really bugs me that people don't credit artists just naturally. Like, it's always nice to give thanks to anyone who does anything for you, even if you've paid them. Like,
yeah. No, I agree, and that's why when I like leave comments on things, I try to leave the artist in. Like, if I like a piece of art, I will reply to the one that mentions the artist as well, and say like, "Oh, I like this so much." That way, the streamer and the artist gets to see it. In my instance, why I had it and then removed it, I just wanted to write more information in my bio on Twitter and didn't have the space. I should actually just update mine because I have like the expanded one for Twitter Blue and I don't use it, and I really just should. But yeah,
How did you get Twitter Blue?
I pay for it begrudgingly.
Oh.
Begrudgingly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was a big fan of TweetDeck, and I really wanted it back, and then I paid for it, and I'm like, okay, I like having this back, and but I still saw ads, so I upgraded to the higher version of it, shamefully, and now I get no ads at all on my one Twitter account, which is the only one that's paying for it, because you can't add more accounts. It's like, what do I pay? Like $15 a month to get all that.
Stop.
So yeah, it's I'm not a huge fan of it, especially given that man's behavior, but it makes my social media experience better, and it's probably worth $15 a month just in terms of mental health. But I need to go retouch my way of handling social media anyways, because it's been a while since I've cleaned up that process and procedure and things. So
Yeah, I've stopped like doing live posts. My community knows this already, but I stopped doing live posts because like
I think I throttled to hell and back. Yeah.
My entire feed just became like I've gone live instead of like meaningful shit. Like yesterday I recorded a whole video for International Women's Day to thank all the lovely ladies out there and
bless them.
Yeah. And I guess it gives. I just wanna. I may be a dragon, but I want to feel more human. You know.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair, and I do think more meaningful content is better, because there was a time long ago, probably a good 10 years ago for me, when I was using my account more for when I was writing, and yeah, it was just all canned posts that I would just constantly reshare, and they went nowhere, no one saw them, and the system probably interpreted it correctly as spam, but I still wanted people to see it, like, but yeah, I got garbage engagement out of it. I get more engagement out of the art pieces I put out now. Because I'll post them like once in the morning with the art tag on them and with the artist mentioned, and then I'll like retweet it throughout the day or repost it, and then.
What happens when you run out of art to post?
First of all, that's not likely to happen. Second of all, I'll probably just post it less frequently. Because I'm probably going to get some art every month for the entirety of the year. It's just a question of how much I'm getting and how much I'm spending.
Right.
Because with what I've commissioned this month, I think I put in for 2 commissions. And I technically have under 2 that might finish this month. But the commissions I put in for, one I'm on the wait list, so that I don't know if that one will get done. And the other one was a gift for a friend, and that one has gotten done, and I've given it to her already. And I obviously won't post that on my channel because it's. I might ask her if I'm okay if she's okay with me sharing it, and be like, "Here's the thing I got from my friend. Check out this artist, and also check out my friend."
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, I'll check if she's okay with that. I only shared the piece with her last night. I know she's going through some stuff right now, so I don't really want to push it, and it's not a big deal.
Thanks for the lurk, Nova. Enjoy your food.
Enjoy your lurk, Nova. Yes, good lurks to you. But no, I'm scheduled through the end of the month, and usually the art that I'm getting is like $50 to $100 before they start adding commercial fees to it. So, like, it's fine. Like, I'm not spending an insane amount of money, and if I do run out of art, I just post more videos. I'm like I said, I'm probably gonna have one piece of art per month, at a minimum. So it's just a matter of lining up like what to get and when. So
yeah,
and it's a fun thing to do. Like I finally have a job now that I get some decent money, and yeah, if I want to drop $100 a month on getting art for myself and my VTuber, like that's just kind of investment in the brand. So. But yeah, definitely like whenever I post stuff on my art Thursdays, which I guess is what they're turning into, it has the fan art tag that I'm using, and also it has the artist credited there, just I don't have them credited properly in my profile, which is what the original poster was talking about.
Yeah.
And like I said, I do need to go because I checked my banner on Twitter and socials is fine. The eye banner that I use on Twitter, that artist does not require credit, but the profile pic one does. So I have to actually add that in. So.
Yeah.
But shouldn't take too long. I just haven't done it yet because my ass was dragging today. Like I crawled out of bed like 10:30 in the morning and stream was starting at 1. So like crawled out of bed, got breakfast, chatted with somebody briefly about Monster Hunter while playing Monster Hunter, grabbed a shower, finished that up and popped on here for stream. So like I could have done it instead of playing Monster Hunter, but I don't think the world understands how Monster Hunter addiction goes. So I'll get to it.
Yeah.
It's on the list. But that was really
real.
my my
dedication.
The addictions,
Yes,
yeah.
I like that. Not addiction, a dedication. Yeah.
But yeah, those are my 3 bits of VTuber news because I don't want to like bring stuff up from like months ago, and all 3 of these were like in the last week or 2. Honestly, I think they were in the last week. I know the artist credit thing was this morning, and the political status one I think was yesterday, and the relationship status one was just like earlier in the week, a couple days ago. So I've done a pretty good job of curating my feed to get that kind of stuff away from me. So it really just pops up occasionally, or it's something huge that breaks through my barricade, which understandably then, like,
the barricade.
The barricade ain't perfect, but
yeah,
definitely I cut people out who can't shut up about politics, because Lord have mercy, sometimes some of them go way too far. And yeah, let me just say, the time right after the US election was an unpleasant time for me on Twitter. I got rid of a bunch of people that had opinions, and public ones, and I had issues with them.
They had opinions.
Yep. But yeah, those were my bits of VTuber news. So now, super fun to hear the Dan and Dan podcast while balding VTubers. Yeah, Jelly does the thing where she does fan art of people where she removes their hair and makes them bald.
Oh no.
For context for you, Dan.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't want me bald, thanks.
I'm honestly surprised she hasn't done it to me yet a little bit.
We're the favorites. We're the favorites.
Stopping and being exposed. Listen, you mentioned about balding VTubers. I'm going to explain to my collab partner what that means because he has no context. I've at least seen your channel in your Discord where you talk about. Oh god, now I'm on the list.
I actually saw. I know she said the Dan Dan podcast. I actually saw that someone replied to your going live and was like, "We need a third Dan to get the Dan to Dan." And I was like, I know another Dan, but I don't know if he's like a podcast kind of guy.
Maybe we'll ring one in if we can.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with the 2 of us.
Yep. Okay, so we've done our news for ourselves, our big VTuber space news. Now there's only 2 topics left: Metaphor or Monster Hunter. Which would you like to tackle
Well,
first?
let's do Monster Hunter.
Okay. And we will end with Metaphor ReFantazio, which we will probably talk about for a solid hour just on its own.
We will see, because I don't have that kind of time.
Okay.
Monster Hunter Wilds. So,
Probably the best thing to start off with. Where are you at? I did mention I finished this. I am like Hunter rank 80 something now, so I'm very much done with this. So there's no worries about spoilers for me. Do I need to worry about spoilers for you?
I haven't unlocked everything, which is weird, because I'm HR like 52, 53.
That's far enough along that there really isn't plot spoilers, I think.
No, I haven't unlocked like the final melding stuff, and I don't know how to do that. It's probably a side quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've done the
But I am
story
playing
thing
time.
at rank 40, so yeah. So we're both
Yeah.
approximately the same spot then. Good. So no worry about spoilers, unless you're in chat and you don't want spoilers for Monster Hunter Wilds, in which case, pause the video, go finish the game, come back, unpause the video. We'd probably be left by then, but watch it anyways. Check the VOD. Support us both, especially the king. The king demands his tribute.
Yeah. Give me money, nerds. Sorry, no, don't you dare.
Yeah, considering we were talking about boyfriend experience earlier, there we go.
No, that's
what
not
about what about king friend experience?
bully experience. You suck. Give me your money, your lunch money.
There's a market for that. You might not want to poke that bear unless you want to.
Oh no.
Yeah, no. There's a thing. But anyway, so yeah. What are your initial thoughts on it?
What we're talking about Muslim words.
Yes.
So, I have a little speech kind of thing to do. So, release day was not the best it could have been in terms of server support. But it never seems to be with these kind of things. Servers were going up and down all throughout the day. Steam Deck support was non-existent. That's
I think it's still
literally-
non-existent.
Well, if you search the right places, you can find the help. But I have a friend who has a Steam Deck, and they were crashing about. I think they crashed more than 10 times trying to get through the first few hours of gameplay.
Ooh.
So they managed to find some place that lets them go into the coding and change stuff. They're pretty good at that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And they had to remove a certain line in the code of the game, and now it runs better. That's just crazy.
That's unnecessarily complicated.
The community found that out, whereas the game developers didn't.
Yeah,
So-
that's a bad taste in the mouth, and that's kind of a little bit of where my initial thoughts are. The game itself is.
I'm not done.
Yeah, all right, I'll let you go.
But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna talk about coding of the game, then go ahead.
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
And we return to you, Your
Let's
Majesty.
sorry. I'm just on a roll, and if I lose it, I will lose my train of thought. So I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
Okay. So my initial thoughts, the base storyline is pretty good. There are, I would overall give the game a 7 out of 10. The parts of it that are good are very good. The parts of it that I have issues with are little stones in my shoe that I can't ignore and just annoy the ever-living shit out of me.
What's the good stuff? Let's talk about the good stuff. I mean, I got good stuff to talk about the game. I like the monster.
I like a lot of the new additions to the rosters. I love Chemistries. That Chemistries monster is amazing. I hope they bring that thing back over and over again, because not only does the armor look fantastic. That's currently my layered armor I'm using in late game. I've got the female body armor with the male hat. So I look like a good old Renaissance freelance running around here killing monsters with my dope ass hat. It's amazing. I love it. But
What weapon do you use?
I mostly play Lance, but I also was using Longsword for its high damage output. But Lance was my backup safe weapon for a lot of things.
Okay.
But so yeah, those are my things. Both weapons are playing great. The improvements to those weapons have been fantastic. The longsword finally has cool things to do with its gauge other than just Helmbreaker's very binary slashy slash. You definitely hit a DPS mode when you get to red gauge, where you can just pour on the damage, do this amazing Helmbreaker with a follow-up that does a ton of damage, and then you can pop the wounds with your focus strike and just get those gauges back and do it all over again. If you can I'm mostly playing solo, but if I could get in a group that could keep something distracted, I could probably put out even more damage. Like, it's an insane amount of damage output with longsword.
I recommend just using the SOS flare system just to do random lobbies, honestly. Just to like farm materials and stuff. Like,
I'd rather jump in with some friends and just play it that way, because that's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and also I play solo a lot of time too. I don't mind. But definitely like some of the armor designs are some of the best things I've seen. Like chemistries, male and female, both great. Lala Barina, oh my god, Lala Barina, that armor's amazing.
It is.
But that stuff's good. The weapon designs are generally better than they were for World. I do see a couple every now and again that I'm like, oh yeah, this is like a blade with slightly different coloration. All right. But I do think they gave people a decent spread of like, everybody gets access to arc-felled weapons. Everybody gets access to weapons for 2 of the 3 apexes, or 2 of the 4 apexes. So like you get a lot of like good quality stuff. Sometimes it takes a while to get access to them. Because I think I was saying going into the game to somebody that like I was getting ready to finish low rank, and I'm like, there are no low rank ice element dual blades. There are none, absolutely none. The only ones you get late in the game are the Jindahad ones. I think are the only ice element dual blades. Like, and it's like, holy shit, this is unpleasant on a weapon that, because I've been dabbling with dual blades and gunlance as well, which is why I've been looking at dual blade elements. But like, some of them are good. Like the Azuricon dual blades are really good because they're like these like bladed tonfas that are very stylish. But then like the Jindahad dual blades are like, you literally pried the metal off the side of this thing, stuck a handle on it, you're just stabbing people with these very bland looking weapons, and I don't really like it. But overall, weapon quality is good and an improvement over World.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So definitely that's good. The story's good. Arkfeld as a fight is a fight that I really like, because I do like kind of like more of like a brawler fight compared to like something like Velkhana, which I consider more of a caster, where like what it likes to do is sit back and shell and use abilities and just kind of like rain devastation around it. It's more of like a caster. Arkfeld will get in your face, will try and fight you, and as somebody that likes a more like counterplay physical fight, I really like Arkfeld a lot. Actually, honestly, out of all the Apexes, I think I like Rei Dao the least. I like Rei Dao the most for its appearance and the least for its fight, because it just kind of like swings back, takes a swipe at you with one of its sword arms, then like gets up, does it again, and I'm just sitting here with a lance going, as soon as I haul my heavy ass over there, I'm gonna punch you, and then just goes and does it again, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get you, and I'm running all over the place trying to chase it. But darn it if I don't love a dragon that's got a lightning rail cannon on its face. That's dope as heck.
I love Rei Dao so much.
Yeah.
So much.
And the weapons look good. But yeah, so it's got a lot of positives to it. It's got a lot of good stuff. I love the fact that for the late game setup for finding monsters on the map, they have guaranteed gem drops for some of them. Where you're not chasing that like 2% drop forever. If you keep refreshing the map, they will spawn with drops, guaranteed drops for their gems, and it's so nice. God, it's so nice. Yeah. One of the ones I did this morning was New Udra, the fire apex. It was a guaranteed gem drop for the fight, plus other rewards, and out of the other rewards I got 2 more gems. And I'm like, oh my god, 3 new Udra gems. Bless this. It's gonna make it so much easier to farm this shit later. And make all the weapons I want. But
yeah, I think they definitely have felt that they wanted to support the community that definitely makes every armor piece and weapon.
Yeah.
And or the ones that make like specific armor sets or like builds, I guess. So yeah, I like that. Was there anything else about Monster Hunter Wilds?
I mean, we were in the positive section. I have my criticisms. There's a reason it got 7 out of 10.
Let's.
Can we?
I don't know if I'm in the right headspace for negatives. That's the thing.
Can I just broad strokes it very quickly? Because you kind of mentioned part of it was like performance issues.
Yeah.
And that's
Sure,
I think that's a valid criticism of just performance issues are a problem. They changed some of the systems of the game. Like the last 2 games had like that nice central area where you could request any type of material for gathering, and even though the current system's a little bit different late game, it's still different and weird. It's one of those like, why did you change this? The old one was so good. Why did you change this? It's walking out of my tent, and this is a real big irritation for me. This is why I'm like describing them as like a stone in my shoe. It's not a big deal, but it annoys the crap out of me. Going into my tent, changing something, maybe refreshing items, and I walk out, and the game's like, oh, this new monster, this new monster spawned in. It's the one that you've been looking for. And I tap the button to bring up the map, and nothing happens. Because the notification in the corner has that same button. If I hold it, it skips the notification. So I'm pressing the button to try and bring up the map. The game's interpreting it as you're, for a 1/10 of a second, holding this button to skip. So we're going to skip a 1/10 of a second worth of the bar. And it just annoys the crap out of me. Like, it's not a big deal, but it's the menus are all weird, and like the button interactions and stuff, like it's very unnatural, and I think they could have used more time on that.
Yeah, the UI deserved more time.
Yeah. Some of the skill combinations are a little bit weird on the weapons. Like sometimes you have a weapon that looks really nice, but the skills on it are kind of bad. Like I remember looking at a gun lance, and the gun lance skills were crit draw and punishing draw, and I'm like, who's using those on a gun lance? Like, gun lances don't use crit draw or no, it wasn't crit draw. It was punishing draws. It was like a stun draw gun lance. Who uses that? It's not helpful. Like, what? So that was a little bit strange.
I think it's more strange for the dual blades that I was using earlier today having critical draw rather than the gun lance.
Yeah, that's another weird one too, because I think it's probably the same weapon where like, yeah, any weapon made from this monster is going to have crit draw and punishing draw, and sometimes it just makes no sense. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But and then like when you get to the end of the game, there's not a whole lot to do. I feel like I'm already starting to burn out on it a little bit, because like I'm fighting the same monsters over and over again, because there's like a whole bunch of roamers. Like one of the late game areas I was looking at it this morning, and like every monster that spawned in was a roamer. None of them were any of the types in there that I was looking for. They were all, it was like 4 different roamers that were in that zone. It was like a Chemitress, a Gypsaros, a Congalala, and like something else, like a Nursilla maybe. I'm like, what the hell are all these things doing here? Get them out of here. I want to go fight something that spawns there naturally and only spawns there. And like some of the requirements for like building that equipment is really expensive. Those tier 3 certificates for the Apex weapons and stuff, those are a pain to farm. You need 5 of them for each piece for each weapon, and then 5 for a total set of armor equipment, and that's a real pain to farm. So yes,
not if you use the SOS flash system.
You can get it done, and I've stubborned my way through a lot of them, but that doesn't mean I'm not annoyed with it, especially because I'm working 2 weapons, so I need a ton of them anyways. But yeah, so like the good things are very good. Like what they did right, they did very right. But like the performance issues on PC are very condemnable. They should have done a better job for that. And I'm honestly a little bit concerned that like the feedback from the community following this release is going to be Monster Hunter is a great PC game 6 months after release, and they won't buy it in droves like they did this time. Like this time they're like, no, we loved World, we loved these other games, so we're gonna buy this day one. And then like it has a pretty negative review status in Steam. Last time I checked, it was mixed. At one point it was like mostly negative, because it was like 40% negative because of all the performance issues people were having, the crashes, the the lag, all these other things. Like people were really upset about it. So
Yeah.
I'm worried that Capcom will see that and pull out of the PC market and get the wrong idea, because it's not that the PC market bad, it's that you released a game that was buggy. Like,
I think they've rushed it.
yeah, I'm generally in agreement too. So
I think the shareholders wanted money, and that greed is going to cost them in the long run.
yeah, I'm in agreement there. It's just a shame that because the community wants a good game, they want to love you and give you their money. Why are you making that hard for them? Like,
Yeah.
don't. They will happily throw money at you as long as you give them something worth the purchase.
Absolutely. That's very true.
Yeah.
It's got to be worth it. It's the same with the DLC that's upcoming later this year. Like, if that is not up to standard or, like, of a good, like... If
So we-
it's buggy as hell...
So when you say
Still-
DLC, are you meaning the title updates or the expansion?
The expansion, I guess.
I don't think is it
That's-
coming out this year? Usually there's like 2 years between the main game and the expansion.
Oh.
I know the
Then-
title. I know the
then
first title update is
the-
dropping early April, and they're adding like the Gathering Hub back in. They're adding a couple new monsters to kind of add to the roster that they probably just needed more time to cook and they couldn't put them in base game.
Maybe then? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, we should get at least like 6 months of title updates, and then it'll be a little while until they get the expansion announced and ready. But hopefully that's enough time for them to clean up the other issues they're having with it and just deliver an overall better game for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah,
'Cause
that's true.
They've got something good, and if they can take care of it and treat it properly, the community will love them and support them for it. But if they mess around, they're going to find out. And yeah.
Can we have a little discussion about Metaphor?
Yep. That's the last thing I had here. So, Metaphor.
Did you want to start?
Yes, let us transition to Metaphor, because I think we've said all we're going to say about Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah.
So, Metaphor. One of Dan's greatest games of all time, or the greatest game of all time?
Let's go.
Oh, it's the greatest game of all time.
The greatest
It's the
game of
number
all
one on my list now. Yeah.
time. Nice. Like, Atlas does very good games, and as the newest one, 61% if not wrong. The rating's been slowly improving, but there are complaints. Yeah, it's a great game.
For optimization, it's a great game, but it feels like, it's content. I have to go down here with a better overview of the game in 6 months.
Yeah, so they're right about Monster Hunter, because they've been writing that out about that. But no, I liked Metaphor a lot. I don't think I like it enough to be like
Thank you,
greatest of all time for me, but it's up there.
Mm.
So let's start off with like mechanics that you liked. Like, let's talk about mechanics, because they're a little bit easier to like break down. Like, what did you like about mechanics? What did you not like? Or did you just like all of it?
I liked that a lot of the, like, you didn't have to spend
Let's go.
time and time with each follower before you unlocked the next rank. It was literally a case of, here it is, here you go. That was a lot more streamlined than Persona's. Oh, you can hang out with this person 3 times and you still might not get it, depending on what you answer with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, that's just punishing the player, and you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
What else? There was the music. There was
Oh my god, the music's so good.
combat. There was the monster design. There was the little crossover with the Shin Megami world. There was collecting things. I mean, the only gripe I have is that because it's an Atlas game, there was a time limit. That is the only gripe I have about the game, is the fact that they had to include a time limit on activities, and I hated it. It was very stressful. It was very overwhelming. But I always get overwhelmed with that sort of thing. So I just followed a guide and got through it that way. I do still plan to play it again, and I'll probably record the secret boss at the end of my New Game Plus run, and then put that up on YouTube somewhere when I eventually get around to playing through the game again. But yeah, it's definitely something I will go back to.
What secret boss is that? Because I don't think I knew anything about that. I think I saw you do the mirror fight, and I knew about that one. What other secret boss is there?
So in your New Game Plus, the Book of Apocalypse can be opened towards the end, and in there is like the ultimate dragon super boss. It has like resistances to everything, and you have to basically be it's like the Reaper from Persona. You have to be amped up and ready for that fight, and if you're not, you're just gonna get wiped.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to be doing in my New Game Plus playthrough, is getting everyone's stats up as high as they can go, and doing that. Yeah,
makes sense. I definitely, in terms of positive, I definitely agree with you with the music. This game went way harder on music than it needed to, but Lord have mercy, did they knock it out of the park. Like, the basic combat theme just being that, like, what is it even called? Like, Warriors Assemble, or Warriors something, like Warrior of Valor, and it's so good. You're fighting a slime, and the game makes it sound like you're fighting a final boss. It's so good. It's so heckin' good.
Absolutely. I also liked the in-game explanation for why the music is a thing, in that your companion is the one giving it to you, and it makes the moments when it's silent so much better, because you're like, uh-oh, Gallica, why are you not giving me music right now? What's going on?
Music was the first kind of magic. Yeah, you're right.
It makes things really tense, so I like that as well. I like everything.
There's a lot to like. In terms of like the systems, like, it actually fixed an issue I had with Persona, where like when you over specialize a character, like, you know, this is the person who has fire magic, this is the person who has lightning magic, you know, the fact that that can kind of pigeonhole you into teams to take in certain areas. And this one, you can just make anybody anything. Your main character had to be in your party, but they could be any class, so like you always had the option. You were never stuck with a bad lineup unless you just got stubborn and used bad classes. So like that's wonderful, and that's a thing that I've had issues with in games where they force you to choose a party like that, and in this one it wasn't a problem. It's so good.
Exactly.
I also really like your ability to swap people in and out of combat, or in and out of the party in the fight.
Yeah.
Like, that was really good. And the fact that like it takes half a turn, but you don't lose a full turn. So like sometimes that's even useful for like if you want to just like get to the next person and like set something up for later, you can pop people in and out. It's so good, so useful.
That mechanic was actually crucial to me winning the last dragon I fought. Like where it like, oh no, it was Louise's like super form, where he like targets one species.
Yeah, you need to switch him out, otherwise he'll
had to switch out to win that fight.
Yep.
I liked that.
Yeah, that was useful. So that was a really good part of it. So there's a lot of good things about it.
The antagonist is one you genuinely hate. And that's because, in some regards, you agree with him, but he's doing it in all the wrong ways.
He is one of my favorite antagonists I've seen ever, because one, these are literally my points here. Point number one, very punchable. He's a pretentious know-it-all son of a bitch, and even if he was right about everything, I'd still want to clock him in the nose. But my favorite part about him is like he is the antagonist from the start. Like, the first thing you see of the game is like logos. Before you even see a start menu, you see a video playing, and it plays every time you turn on the game and you can skip it up the first time. But it's showing people in the street, and the church treats the poor badly, but taking bribes, and it goes up to Luis looking out a window, commenting about the state of society, walks up to the king in the bed, takes out a knife, and stabs the king in the chest. And it's regicide from cold-blooded murder from the first moment you ever see him, and him making a political move right afterwards. And you're like, oh, okay, this guy's a bad guy. This is the fucker we're dealing with. And having that central antagonist the whole way through, even at the times when he wasn't like a big part of the story because you're doing other stuff, it was still so beneficial. Hey, got a raid from a friend of mine. Hey, Sable. I'm gonna give Sable a shout out here.
Welcome in.
What are you doing? Tormented Souls. Momo, thank you for the follow. But hi, Sable. Hope you're having a good time. I am doing a lovely collab here with my friend Dan the Draco King. We are doing our Dan and Dan collabs. So
Yes.
but yeah, if you
Swish, swish.
but yeah, thank you for the raid. Obviously, if you need to raid and run, that's fine. You're welcome to stay, but I understand if you gotta leave. Take care of yourself, get something to eat, get something to drink, get some rest, get a shower, do what you gotta do. But otherwise, yes, take care of yourself, but you are welcome to stay. Hang out. Listen to us chat. We are talking about Metaphor ReFantazio at the moment, and about its villain, its antagonist, and how punchable his face is. And more specifically, I was talking about like how like it's so good to just have that strong central antagonist throughout the whole game, because Persona is different. Persona, I don't know who the villain is in Persona through most of it. Like I have hints of it here and there, and I admittedly have gotten myself spoiled on a few things, so I'm like, oh, this is who. Yeah, I know. I looked up a few things.
Why did you look it up?
Well, I was looking up other things, and these things came up. But anyway,
Bad
yeah.
Dan, okay?
But like, Luis is such a strong central part of that story. He's really like a foundational part of the narrative of Metaphor, and I think it would be a worse game if he wasn't there, always, if not in the foreground, then in the background, looking menacing at you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he is somebody that is so charismatic, you almost agree with him at certain points. But because you said that, and like, but I remember the conversation I had with him at the end of the game in the Royal Palace, where he's talking about his perspective. He's talking about why he's doing this, and he talked about how like the state that people were in, this anxiety was their natural state, and all he was doing was just drawing attention to that. Just he's just really pointing out the flaws in the system, the flaws in the world. And I kind of had that moment where like him saying that's what took me out of him. Like, you son of a bitch, you consummate narcissist. You're not wrong. People will do terrible things when they're anxious and will push all that anxiety to other people. You're the one who made them this way. You had a crowd of people in the middle of a city looking up to you, and you turned a person into a human explicitly for the purpose of scaring the ever-living shit out of them, and you're gonna then turn around and blame them for having a reaction you have expressly not only caused, but intentionally triggered. Exactly, and he is so full of shit about it, and like, that's why I'm just like sitting there like that was the moment I'm like, oh, you are irredeemable. We're gonna kill the shit out of you. Like, I was ready to kill you before, which is funny because the whole party's like, are we really ready to kill him? Like, yes, let's kill him. Let's kill the shit out of him. He killed Grias. Let's kill him dead.
Yeah.
But like, he is so irredeemably fixable, irredeemably unfixable, that like there's no redemption arc for this villain. They don't even try. Like, the time then they interact in his company, they're like, yeah, we're just gonna lie to him, lie to his face to get close to do the thing we need to do. But beyond that, fuck this guy.
Yeah. Like, Stroll physically having to, like, hold himself back from letting loose.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because he doesn't smile during, like, that little arc of the
Mm-hmm.
the island and such, he doesn't smile once at all.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on with Luis and his whole shebang. And he's really just so full of crap, and I love having that villain you can just hate on. And just knowing from the get-go, like, because I've played games with complicated villains, and Louis even is a complicated villain, but he's an example of a good complicated villain that you can both feel a little bit bad of, like, oh, I'm sorry, you were a victim, the world treated you badly and showed you a really bad time and fucked you up. But also you took the worst possible conclusions from that and you've run with them for over a decade. To hell with you. Like, I don't care that you're a victim anymore. I care that you're a problem. And it is so nice to have somebody that you can just, right from the get-go, and it's not, well, he's nuanced, he has no, he has none. He has no good points. He just has deception. He things he uses to deceive people.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's just
Said
fantastic.
it better than I could have done.
Yeah. So just, yeah. Fantastic villain. Yeah. So
It's all around just an amazing game.
yeah. Some of the late game stuff, like I will say one of my gripes. The weather. I did not like the weather. That whole, like, if there's a storm, all of the monsters ignore their weaknesses and vulnerabilities and you don't get those extra turns. That bit me in the ass a few times until I started being like, okay, we need to work around this mechanic. But I didn't like it.
I'm sat here smiling evilly because I was like, yeah, sure, they don't lose a turn or we get half an icon or whatever, but we also get more XP for doing this, so I'm all for it. So a lot of the time I would just be out in dungeons when the weather was bad, just specifically so I could, like, level up faster.
And that's fair. It bit me in the ass a few times, and I think there at least was one dungeon I had to leave because the weather was not good that day, and I was underleveled, and there was no fixing it. There just wasn't.
I had to leave a dungeon as well. It was the Poison Dragon, the one that puts everyone's health to 300 maximum.
Oh my God,
That fight was.
I did that
horrible.
one first, and it was so painful. Like, because that's all you playing that on stream, and like you had a good strategy for it, where like you're using a character that could ignore vulnerabilities and weaknesses. You were doing this, you're doing that. I had like 2 or 3 wipes against that thing before I'm like, oh, it's literally reflecting every element. Oh shit. And what I did, I had the protagonist in as the prince. I think he had a few things that could ignore, that either did like almighty damage or was able to ignore damage typing.
Yeah.
I had not Heisenberg.
Heismate.
No, the knight.
Hulkenberg.
I had Hulkenberg in as one of her knights, just tanking that thing, like into every turn, using her tanking thing just to draw aggro. Because all it did was physical hits. Occasionally with AoE physical, like with a tail swipe, but like mostly it was just that. And if I could get her to tank it, that just pulled the aggro off of everybody else. And then it was the masked dancer adding elemental weaknesses to it. I think I had Yufa healing. And I got through it, but it was a brutal slog of a fight. And you did it so much cleaner and faster. I didn't even think about using like Berserker, just bypassing the weaknesses. I don't even think my Berserker was leveled up very well at that point. But also, we talked about doing better with ad breaks. I'm a minute and a half away from mine, Dan.
2:20. Like 2 minutes 20 seconds.
Do we want to take
Snooze? Let's snooze.
Snooze, okay.
And I think I'm out of energy. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. Yeah, like it's a great game. I would rate it very highly. You know, I said Monster Hunter was like a 7 out of 10. Metaphor's probably a 9. Like there are very small gripes. There are times when the story just kind of didn't resonate with me as well as I would have liked it to, but otherwise, like, it's such a good story, and it's so...
Yeah. I mean, okay, so originally Final Fantasy X was my game of all time, right?
Okay.
And I can see the flaws in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So concurrently, I can also see the flaws in Metaphor as well. But that still doesn't change the fact that the enjoyment I got out of it was like
Let's go.
beyond infinitesimal in terms of its like joy compared to upset. Like all
Makes
the
sense.
characters are necessary in making the story what it is, and apart from Alonso, fuck Alonso.
Yeah, Alonso's thing is a little bit much.
I just don't like him. I just don't like him. Even in the end, he's still like, "Oh, I'll be your royal thief or something," and I'm like, "Piss off, okay? Just go away. I don't want you here. All right? You faked your own death. You didn't tell me about it. Go away."
Yeah.
So,
He's a hard person to love, but he's an interesting person for like world building purposes. I just wish his particular power was a little bit more useful. I didn't use Faker much at all.
no. Thanks to the like Jelly. No, Faker is probably the weakest, but also, I guess if RNG is on your side, the strongest.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can give you turn icons and give enemies like debilitating status effects. But why would I do that when there's a chance to guarantee these where I can use other moves which can just deal so much damage?
Yeah, I'll just use the warrior instead, or the mage, or the knight, or the prince. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, it's in a listing of various classes for the game. The Faker was consistently in bottom tier from what I saw. The thing is, the Faker and the martial artist were both like bad. Because I think the martial artist was like it ate its own HP to do damage. I think that was the kind of the problem.
That's fine. Just make sure you have someone who's going to use a healing potion when they get low.
Mm-hmm.
And if for me, it would be like the sniper class would be at the bottom.
I liked Sniper.
And
It was
then-
okay.
I did enjoy it. And then I would probably put Faker above that, to be honest. Like, every time I needed someone to use sniper class, I was like, ugh, fine.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I think probably my favorite class outside of like the Prince and the Seeker was probably Warrior. I liked the very like straightforward AoE attack of Warrior. Like base Warrior was kind of bland but okay. Level 2 Warrior had like no single target skills, but the AoE potential was great. Level 3 Warrior was fantastic, where you got like the Samurai Lightning attacks and you had a combo move that did wind damage, and level 3 Warrior was the good shit. And then the Royal Warrior was obviously exceptional. So
Yeah, absolutely.
ironically, the one I didn't like a lot was Summoner. Like base Summoner I liked more than Devil Summoner, and Devil Summoner was in some ways better than Royal Summoner, because Devil Summoner at least had that like move that bypassed elemental restriction, that had like the non-elemental ice attack that Royal Summoner didn't, and I'm like, this is weird. I don't like this. Like at least with Masked Dancer, I could mark them as like, this is my consummate support character. For Summoner, it was like, sometimes they do good damage, sometimes they don't. I don't know. It's complicated.
Yeah. I Summoner was just very much like jack of all trades kind of thing. Nothing like strong, nothing weak kind of stuff. So they didn't do a lot of damage, but they also didn't really take a lot of damage. It was like, I noticed Yuffie's stats, they literally increased just across the board for the majority of the game. And then you get to the final dungeon and she's gained like, I think into her level 60s, late level 60s, and that's when her stats actually start changing, and I'm like, wow, okay. Thanks for snoozing the ads, Nova.
Yeah, I snoozed mine again for a second time. But yeah, like the character stories were good. There was no romance option. I kind of am okay with that. I don't know who I would have dated if there were, because I probably would have gone for Hulkenberg initially. But as I dealt with her more and more, I'm like, no, like this is a friend, this is a bro. She's a little too uptight for me to actually want to date. Like she's no Makoto. Like she doesn't have that softness to her that I like. And then for like Yufa's okay. Juna was okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, there really wasn't anybody I like would have liked to date by the end of the game. They were all they're all like companions.
Canonically, Yufa technically is like the one our main character is interested in.
I definitely picked up that she was interested in us, because she's like, yeah, holding someone's hand means a certain thing among my people. And then you get further in her story, and she asks to hold your hand again, and I'm like, oh, I see.
Yeah. But then there's also, before you go to like the final battle, if you like got her to max rank, then there's a part where Edeni is like, I guess, I don't need to tell you to look after my sister. And one of the options is literally like, leave her with me, like I'll look after her kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was very much like implicating engagement or something.
Yeah, I clocked that one too, where like he was having the big brother conversation of like, so you're spending a lot of time with my sister, huh?
Yeah.
You're like, yep.
I was like,
yeah, I was eating good with that one.
Yeah. But that's everything I think from me.
Yep, I have another 3 minutes until we can until I get another ad. I have one more snooze left, so if we want to raid out.
Raid out. So
Let's go.
Also,
what was
hi
it?
Infinity.
Dragon.
Yeah, who we raiding out to?
Hang on, there's how many people are alive right now for me? Data is loading. Oh, well that's good.
Yeah, I have like one person doing a Mega Man X stream that I'm kind of interested in seeing if we can raid into.
I mean, feel free to raid into them. We
Okay.
don't have to raid into the same person. This Mega Man doesn't interest me.
That's fair.
But I will do my raid message in that case.
Oh, that reminds me, I should actually do my raid message.
Ooh.
I love my little raid thing here. We're raiding Kane. Which is a little pun off of raising Kane.
Let's go.
So,
I like that.
yeah.
I like
But
that.
thank you for another wonderful Dan and Dan collab, as always.
Yeah, it was a good time. It always is. Sorry I had to cut it short though.
No, that's fine.
I don't have a lot of energy.
Your health is incredibly important, Your Majesty.
You say that, but I can't even look after myself.
Yeah, well, that's fair. But anyway, thank you all for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever it is in your part of the world. I am not.
Oh shit!
I am not going to be streaming next week at all. And Dan, you should check his socials for his schedule when he gets it posted, or his Discord.
No, it's here. It's here. I've got it right now on stream. It will be tomorrow. I've literally put Gorilla. I don't know what to play, so we'll see what I'm in the mood for. Wednesday's Pokemon Insurgents. Thursday again Gorilla. I don't know what to play.